this is a beautiful woman. I
Yeah,
mean,
she is.
she's highly attractive. She's a mother of three kids. She's very passionate. Sometimes she'll do this every so often. She'll post stuff like this is what I think one of her recent posts about dealing with haters. So here it is. You know, I can't play the music. No, this is another one. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's I like this one too. Where I think this is one. This is one here. What's up, my why you? So she says herself. Wait a minute. You dieting for the results that dieting is going to give you. How it's going to make you fucking look. Oh, it tastes so nasty. I can't diet. You whining ass bitch. Pacifier sucking pussy. Shut the fuck up and eat that shit. That's my fucking opinion on that. They're pretty funny, and like I said,
I
she's
like that.
party too, But she posts this. I know I saw a recent one. I'm trying to see where it's at. Where this is probably one of the old ones where she talks about haters, how she get picks on, and and people bullies her. Especially it was where is it? Because she puts out so many ones where she has one where she shows what she does like whenever she with the haters she shows their pictures and stuff. Where is it? So yeah, yeah. Oh, here's one. She asked me, "Do you get jealous when women hit on your boyfriend?" You know, there's one here. It's yeah. Usually people are a little better prepared, but it is a day. But she often posts with dealing with haters. There is.
Yeah, she
Where
has some
is
good
that?
comebacks on the haters.
Well,
Yeah, I
that's
think it.
because look at her. She's sexy. She's a beautiful woman. I mean,
Yeah.
that goes back to women are catty. I mean, if you feel any woman's a threat or competition, here comes the fangs and the claws.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Mhm.
Here's one of them. Here's the guys who say they wish they had a biceps, and she shows the pictures. This is one of the guys here. You know, uh, they often make comments.
Oh
Here's
yeah, she
another one
shows the
here.
receipts, doesn't she? Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that tells you something that it's usually here. I'm gonna say it like this, guys. When you compare yourself to a female, you got sugar in your tank. That's why I'm gonna tell you like that. A man should never compare himself to a woman. Women can be sexy. Men, we can be attractive. Women can be sexy. Any man who compares himself to a woman, you're a little soft in the ass. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Because that's women are like I said this. Even though we're the same race, we're different breeds. Men and women have different looks and styles. Some of the guys look pretty good, but then the other guys look like any little Joe Schmo who just feels intimidated. And she got quite a few of them. You know, and it doesn't make sense to me to take time out of your life to comment on what this woman's doing and what she's saying. And also, she's not doing anything against you. This is her life.
But y'all got to understand too, we come from a different generation. Like, we weren't raised to pick on people and to bully people. I mean, we had occasional ones, but you got to understand, back in our time, people call people out. People are afraid to call people out now. So people feel more emboldened to say what they want to say on the internet. The keyboard warriors. So, I mean, she's a beautiful woman. Hey, I ain't gonna hate on her. Shoot, I want her boobies. So I don't have any. So I mean, she's drop dead gorgeous, but like I said, that goes back to the cattiness and the jealousy, and it's sad. It's sad we live in a world like that, but
Yeah. We have here a guest here, the lovely OCB Pro, future IFB Pro, the lovely Miss Nicole Strauss, big
Thank you.
competitor.
hey,
You know,
Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, hi,
How are
Hey,
you?
everybody.
as
Hi,
she, as you
George
know,
again.
she, how you doing? How you doing? As you know, she's a natural competitor, but she's not in the gym.
yes, she looks great.
She looks
Oh,
great,
thank
but
you.
still, people would comment negatively, even though she doesn't take any performance enhancers. She's building her muscle like the natural way. People still, make comments. And what's your thoughts and like how you deal with it?
I don't. I ignore anybody. People. If anybody sends me anything negative, or like I've had like had some negative comments sent to me through Messenger or whatever social media platform. I don't. I'll just listen. I'll block you. Like who are you? You
Hmm.
know. That's stuff. I don't deal with stuff like that. I don't even let it get to me. I really don't. I have more support than I do haters, as far as I know. So you know, that stuff I just block it out. I don't really. I don't have time. Like now I'm in prep. I really don't have time. Anybody that's draining my energy, any negativity, I will cut it out of my life right now. I don't have time. So
Yeah, the thing
Very cool.
is,
I
that's
think
how
that's
that's
great.
I
yeah,
do
that's how I
too.
deal with it.
That's the best
Yeah,
way to do it. Yeah.
yeah. Think of who's like you
yeah,
think about who you don't even know who's on the other end of the phone, like texting
Yeah,
you this
you're right.
nonsense. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
mhm.
why I don't know you. Like you don't pay my bills. Yeah, I don't know none about you. You don't know what I go through. You don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know what I've been through to get to where I'm at right now. So you're insignificant. You don't matter, as far as I'm concerned. Like who needs that?
Yeah.
So
And
that's how I deal with
that's
it.
the
I don't.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem. If you are somebody who you, like I said again, if you don't have your own life, why need to bother with somebody else? Why do you need to talk about what they're doing? It doesn't affect you. But
Hmm.
you take the time out of your life because you got nothing else to do. We get here comments
But
from my man Damon J. Um, he says this. He says, female bodybuilders are strong, empowered women who deserve respect and admiration. He says for their achievements. Let's celebrate their hard work and dedication rather than uh, perpetrating negative stereotypes.
Hmm.
Also, we have here, shout out to, we have a guest here. We have one Miss Randy Dean. It says, hey guys. Yeah, hey Randy, how you coming? You know, Randy, she is a, amateur competitor. She's a nurse, former nurse trainer, and
Okay.
also she's right now she's a survivor of cancer and also a heart attack victim. That's why she
oh
they've interviewed.
wow.
Yeah, they've
Wow.
interviewed you a couple of times. I recently interviewed her about a week or
Yeah.
so ago, and that
Yeah.
tells you the truth because that really touched me because I'm the person who had a heart attack. I have a pacemaker.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
Also,
Randy.
we have here from Damien says, I understand that female bodybuilding might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's essential to the respect that hard work and dedication that goes into achieving their physiques.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
Like I
I
said, I
think,
get I get more I get more support than I do negativity. You know, I thought I was right. I got a lot of support from men. Believe it or not.
Yeah. That's usually it's strange. It's
Yeah.
usually who you get it from is a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with us guys, I think we see some, especially we grew up in the era of heroes, and we got characters like Wonder Woman and Supergirl, and then you see these buff like tomorrow I'm going to do another live stream. I'm going to talk Monday. We talk about the Smodem community. How ladies feel about us, but yeah, I think men sometimes, especially if they're more mature, are more understanding and more accepting than depending on somebody who is not as mentally. That's the thing, maturity.
It
If you're
is.
someone
I
understand,
think
hey,
so.
yeah.
That and not only
So
that, I think women by nature can be a little catty. A lot of them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this
I
competitiveness.
agree.
It's
I
yeah.
agree. I agree. It's like why let's support each other. Even like when I was at my last show, even backstage, like most of the women, they were like they really didn't speak. I get it, everybody's in their zone. You're about to get on stage. You're probably nervous. Everybody's going through what they're going through. Everybody's locked in. But there was a couple women that was like just head high. How are you? Like that doesn't hurt. It's not taken away from anything. You can still be locked
Yeah,
in and
exactly.
stay.
Yeah.
Be nice to somebody. So that I don't understand that being nasty to people. I'll never understand that mentality.
Yeah.
yeah. Here we got some comments here from a man. Shout man Demon J says, it says, I've seen that before. Let me see. Oh, this is from Randy. Again from Randy says, I'm proud to be, I am a female bodybuilder, mother, heart attack survivor, and cancer survivor. Let the world think what they want. Be proud of who you are. I appreciate that, Randy. Randy, if you want to
Oh
come
Yeah.
on, the
yeah.
link,
Hey,
the
Randy.
link is in the top
Hey
of the description.
Randy.
You can click it. You want to come on, give your viewpoints. You're welcome guest. Also, we got here from our man Damon J. Shout out for Jamie says female bodybuilders come in different shapes and sizes, and their bodies are a reflection of their unique genetic makeup, training, and nutrition. It's not about looking like men; it's about achieving. He says. Also, he
Yeah,
says.
I agree with that.
Also, he says this says achieving a specific physical through hard work. You know, and dedication. And as David mentioned earlier, he sent me a link of a young lady. Her name is Natalie, and she is a natural competitor. And I follow her on social media. I think she is an up and comer. I know she last competed at a couple of shows. I remember she did nationals, but didn't get a pro card. I think she did another show, get a pro card. Natalie is a natural competitor, and I know when people see her, especially how well developed she is. Her name is Natalie Hayes. She competes in OCB, and also she's competing in NCP. And I think she's in her early 20s.
She
And
looks great. She looks really
Yeah.
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
She
Well, that
moves.
goes
and
back to people's lack of discipline. Now, if you invite somebody to go drinking and smoking weed or dope, whatever people decide to do, they're okay with that. You won't hear too much about that. But don't talk about getting in shape and going to the gym and competing. Oh my God.
I
oh
mean,
yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
you get so much negativity. Oh, why are you doing that? Why are you
Yes.
doing that? Like, why
Yeah.
don't you do that?
Exactly. Exactly. She looks great.
Yes, she does. Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
yeah,
Watch.
yeah. She
Ooh,
like
look
I
at
said,
that.
she's yeah, she's 26 years old, and I think she's focused. I mean, she does everything naturally. But I
Yeah.
know people
And
make
people don't
comments like,
realize, yeah, genetically, some people are just built for that. Their genetics are really good. So they just enhance, food, the right nutrition. If you get a really good coach, yeah, I can see that.
Mhm.
hmm
mhm.
You know what?
One thing I
Sid
think,
Gillen. I was listening to no, because Sid Gillen has a podcast on YouTube, and she said something very interesting. She was like, before you start jumping into using gear, why don't you give your body at least like 8 to 10 years to reach its full potential? You might not, you might decide you might not even want to use it.
Yep, exactly.
So, but this is a slow process. It takes years to get this physique. But see, she was patient. She took her time and like she built an amazing physique without assistance.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah,
mm,
yeah, and she follows a healthy diet. It's
yeah.
important to have a good. That's one thing people keep hitting. The diet is most important about
Oh,
bodybuilders. Not
yes. Oh, my
not so
God.
much
Yes.
about what gear you use or what 'cause she's not using gear. She's doing it naturally. It's just she's just really the natural muscles that's under your skin. She's just building.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
it
and
is
that's
Took
interesting
cool.
her.
that the comments on her post though. So there's so many negative ones in there, and yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting the way she responds to him too sometimes, and I just wish she would just block him, instead of responding to him.
Well, some competitors, they don't even have social media for that fact. I know a couple of them that don't have it. They're like,
Mhm.
I'm not, I'm focused on my goals and what I want to do, and I do not want to get caught up in social media. So, I mean, to
Yeah,
each their own, and I could see that to a degree. I mean, if that's what they want to do, I think it's a good idea also. But, if you do have social media, you have to be prepared for the good and the bad.
That's
yeah,
true.
We we have here come from a man, Damon J. He's been sticking with here. He says, these women bodybuilders athletes are inspiring women who are breaking barriers and challenging social norms. That's true. I say. Also, shout out to my man Damon. He says this. He says, yeah, Georgina looked amazing. Her tan looked on point with the other top three women. Yeah. We have here
yeah.
Brock
Good, good.
F5. He had been anywhere. Brock shot to you. He says, I find natties to be noxious, like they have uh, the what he says it, the pretentious attitude simply because they won't do what it takes to win competitive IFP. Well, I have natty competitor
Whatever.
here. I want to respond to you, Brock F5. So you want to respond to him next, Nicole, or you just want to move on, like like you like to do?
Well, first of all, tell them to get educated because there are natural competitors that have their IFBB pro cards.
That's
Exactly.
true.
There are
That's
So,
true. Yeah, and who's
a
out of
lot
Exactly.
of
Olympia
them.
too.
Natty
Yeah.
and Night, you
So
still got to put Natty and Night, you still got to put the work in. So I don't
Yeah,
think
Exactly.
I don't, I don't, I don't talk down about people who are enhanced. Like it's a choice you made. To each his own.
Yeah.
But
What?
either way, you still got to put the work in. You have to
Yep.
either way.
Yeah. Right here we have here Edie Davis. Edie just competed at Chicago Pro. We're talking. Hope to do it everywhere soon. She was trying to get in here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe something with her. Her. If you Edie, if you got a phone, you got to use phone. Or you got a laptop, or you have Wi-Fi. You need Wi-Fi. She said, but she's got Wi-Fi. You can see it. She says muscular women challenge traditional ideals of femininity. Society often expects women to be soft, small, and pretty. In my narrow sense, in a narrow sense, there's a persistent myth that all female bodybuilders use steroids. I think she says, Also, she says this. She says, yeah, she says, steroids are unhealthy or love their femininity, lose their femininity. These assumptions ignore the diversity and discipline within the sport. Also, shot again from Randy. And Randy says this. What a great topic. Would love to join in half an hour. And we can make it good. Join us.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I think also on a side note, I think women's physique and women's bodybuilding get the bad end of the stick because of the extra muscle. A lot of people don't realize though a lot of bikini girls, figure girls, wellness girls, they also use, I'm not saying all, there are some that are natural, but a lot of them do use. They just see the bodybuilding females and they just see the women's physique because they see all the extra muscle, but they don't realize they don't pick on the other categories like they do those categories.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I agree with you on that because you know what? Because with figure, look at the women now in figure.
Yeah,
There's
some of them
one.
can do physique. Yeah.
I, I think of one woman I
Oh,
saw.
pig,
She's in New
yeah.
York because David, you at New York Pro, and which is
Yeah.
lady. I think
Uh-huh.
she's from the Czech Republic. Her sister is a figure competitor. Her name is Teresa. Her name is Gabrielle, and we talked about
Oh,
before
yeah.
how she looks like she can do physique. Her sister looks
Hmm.
like figure, but she
Yeah.
looks like physique.
Yeah.
And that thing is, I think because of maybe how people treat the other divisions like physique and women's bodybuilding, I think some women are hesitant about going to the division that maybe fits how their body are growing and developing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have here a comment from Brock F5. Brock says, I personally hate the word schmo. It just don't like the negative term given to someone that enjoys watching bodybuilding women. Why should there be a name attached? Why not just say fan? Well, that's the thing is, like anything, it is something that people have used. I accepted it. I know I'm a muscle person now. I love y'all, love beautiful women. Yes,
You know
sight
what
me.
though? I didn't know what that was until y'all told me. I had never heard anybody use that term. I guess
Oh,
everybody I
yeah.
know they don't use that. And I was like, what is that? And then when you guys told me that, I was like, that's not right. That's not fair. I mean, why would you do that?
Well, I think we
I
accepted it. What
I
about you,
agree
David?
with Brock. I don't like the term schmo either, and I don't really use it on my podcast, but I do talk about fans though, and I think that the ladies that I've talked to, they appreciate having fans. They never
Oh
thought they'd look
yeah,
at fans,
for sure.
before. So yeah, it was kind of
Yes.
neat. Yeah.
Yeah. With me, I kind of, you know what? I know I'm a schmo. I admit it. That's my crime. It's not a crime, but something I admit. But I
Mhm.
respect what these ladies do. The
Yeah.
work they put
Yeah.
in, the consistency they put in. Most people wouldn't do what they do. Get up in the morning,
Mhm.
train, do cardio, eat clean,
Mhm.
be disciplined, do this over again. Sometimes you
Mhm.
like when I cook, like sometimes I cook for myself. And pretty much like today, my sister sent me a nice little plate. She's my big sister. I love her. And I say, you know what? I don't feel like cooking. Sometimes I try to find things that I want to do, especially you try to eat right. I'm not saying I'm trying to be perfect because the other day I had some pizza, but that's the thing is not a lot of these people can do that. They have to be disciplined in their diet. And then, like I said, we just had a show like to Chicago. They get to break out, bust loose a little bit, enjoy maybe a French fry, a little burger, but then again they have to get back on that same diet because
Mhm.
we got a couple of shows coming up. Tampa's coming up, I think the month after next. Also, there's Atlanta and some other shows, and they have to get back onto that horse and maintain that same discipline again.
I mean,
Yeah, I think that's.
I don't think there's anything wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut
Go
you
ahead,
off.
go ahead, go ahead,
Oh,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Nicole. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Nicole.
I said, what's wrong with like being a fan of female bodybuilding? Being a fan of the
Yeah,
sport?
that's why I was thinking the same thing. Like, what's wrong with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. You
It's
fan,
it's
Yeah.
kind
you like what you like. Some people like to watch basketball. Some people like to
Yeah,
watch football. And you like to watch female bodybuilding. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate the
yeah,
sport. I really do.
yeah,
yeah.
it's a,
I mean, we're not calling basketball fans buckethead fans or nothing like that. I mean, we're not. I
I like
mean,
that bucket
yeah, bucketheads, y'all
buckethead.
bucketheads over there. No, I mean,
Like
it's
you said, you like
yeah.
LeBron? You're a
Yeah,
buckethead.
you a buckethead. Yeah, I'm not doing that. So, hey,
But
but y'all, I'm
hit.
gonna have to get off. I'm up here at the tattoo shop with my husband, and so it's getting kind of crowded and noisy out here. I'm outside, but I'm fixing to go in, so outside's getting wild. But I enjoyed talking to you guys, and hope to do this again.
okay,
Thank
Beverly.
you. Good to
Okay,
see you.
All right, Beverly. Thank
Good
you.
to see you,
Yeah,
Beverly.
bye.
Take
yeah,
care, Beverly.
yeah.
Take
Take
care.
care. Yeah. So we thank again Beverly. She's planning on making her return to bodybuilding soon. We can't wait. She'll make the announcement when officially gonna make her show. Best of luck to her. Shout out to
What?
she's with her husband Brad. He's a nice guy. He, was in the police
Mhm.
force. And thank you for your
Okay.
service. We have here from my man Larry J. He says, Nacho gets my respect. Thank you, Larry J.
Oh, thank you, Larry.
Also, he says, I'm a natural IFB pro. Wow, Larry. Well,
See,
Larry,
there
if
you
you,
go. There's an
yeah, because one
example.
thing,
There's an
yeah,
example. Good.
one thing is I think guys also they don't get as much hate as bad as the women because men with muscle are a little bit simple, but they still get picked on. Because like I remember years ago, it was episode of the Date Game where Arnold Schwarzenegger was on there. And then, he was asking questions. The one girl talked about how male bodybuilders have little ting tings. He says, that's not true. It's not true. It's not true. And I think people often find little things about people that is if it's different, they will attack it.
Mhm.
That's true. Oh, what's
Yeah.
the saying? We mock what we don't understand. You
Yeah,
ever heard that? We mock what we don't understand. People make fun of things that they really don't understand. So
yeah.
to me, that's just ignorance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just so easy to be like just saying, okay, just if you don't understand it, here, ask questions. You want to
Yeah,
know something, educate yourself. Education is very important.
very true.
Mhm.
One thing
We
I've talked about on my podcast a few times is it'd be great to have bodybuilding featured on regular TV again, like ESPN. And the ESPN used to show it back in the day. They even had like a little half-hour muscle magazine that was really cool. But I think the great thing about ESPN being showing bodybuilding back in the day is it exposed a lot of people to the sport, people who would never otherwise have seen it. And I've talked about the fact you can watch pro cornhole, sponsored by Johnsonville, you know,
Mm.
sausages or whatever. Like pro cornhole, like why does that exist? And pro bodybuilding doesn't get a minute on TV at all, and it's just
Mhm.
frustrating to me. Um, so yeah, because our cornhole guys really athletes? I mean, seriously, what the hell?
I don't think they are. To me, technically, you're all you do is taking a bean bag and throw it into the hole. But here's the thing: is because it's such massively popular. When something massively popular, it gets more attention than something like bodybuilding, which is even though it's
Yeah,
been around for over 50 years, about at least 70 years, and it was on TV because remember it used to be on ESPN, it used to be on ABC News Sports. Um, NBC Sports. You
I remember it was on
know,
NBC. Even
yeah,
Fox Sports early on did show it.
yeah. And the thing is, if it's not popular, if it's not making money especially for these organizations or these these TV companies, remember because when ESPN dropped it, is because I think they got bought out by Disney.
Yeah.
and and Disney didn't like the idea of bodybuilding. We have here a guest. We lost one. When we get another, lovely Mrs. Randy Dean.
Hey,
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 Randy.
hey,
Randy.
baby.
hey.
Hi,
Hey,
how are
welcome,
you?
Randy.
How
And
are you?
Randy
Good.
is she's really into the sport of bodybuilding. She even asked me if you're ever gonna have a live, I want to join me. And I appreciate when we chat to you ladies say, hey, you want to come on here? I'm always happy for your guests. I think she saw my post and that's why she jumped on. But
Yeah,
thank you, Randy, and I appreciate your time. So tell me, especially yourself, being a woman in this sport, how you deal with people who just don't understand you or just the haters.
screw you.
Yes. Right.
Screw you. I'm 50.
Mhm.
I'm Tuesday. I'm going to be 55 years old.
Oh,
So
congrats. Happy birthday.
thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
So I learned. I think I learned definitely a long time. I certainly learned after my heart attack that life is very short, right?
Yep.
So I was always somebody who, in nursing, always wanted to do the right thing, took care of my patients like I would take care of my own family members. I would get very sensitive. Like if my boss told me that like I did something and it wasn't good enough, or I didn't work hard enough, or I didn't get my mission finished on time, I was always very critical of how others thought about me, and pretty much like all my life. And I think after my heart attack, I just realized that no more, and certainly after the cancer, no more.
Yeah.
So I just don't make time in my life for haters. I don't. I don't. They're not educated. They don't get us. They don't get what we do, and they're not mature. So I don't pay any mind or attention to them at all. As you guys were talking about before with social media, Beverly had been speaking about that, and I'm one of those that I'm starting to have a little bit more presence with my social media. It's something I haven't really been comfortable with because has been my own journey. Um, but I do find people on social media who post things not so much like on my Instagram or my social form, my platform, but as you scroll and I see others, I see a lot of that stuff. You know, I see a lot of just haters just in general. But I don't deal with them. I don't think that they're educated.
Mhm. We have it come from a man, shout out to a man, Damon J. Says people who engage in regular workouts, training, and nutrition planning along with dieting can experience numerous benefits. The he says increased strength and muscle mass, mental, emotional health, etc. Also, we have him, man, Larry J. He says this. He says, "Wild world of sports." Yeah, he's remembered that. He's beyond. Also from a man, Brock F5. He says, "I'm going to honest. Bodybuilding is not the most exciting sport to watch. You already have folks complaining that the show is too long thanks to bikini and men's classic physique. Yeah, that's things, but it's those sports are money makers for the IBAPC. Also, got here, my man David J says Brock at 5. Well, Brock, to be honest, bikini wellness and this upcoming abomination of a division fit model, excuse me, uh, are three of the boring category divisions among the women, and ever mandatory poses are trash. Yeah, but we have here another guest, my man KL the Wanderer. Shout out to my brother coming through. Thank you, brother.
Hello.
Okay. Oh, he's coming.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, what's going on?
yeah. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Doing good.
Hey there.
hey,
Hey, hi, Nicole.
yeah, yeah. So, as you know, he also does interviews with female bodybuilders, and we also have
I
talked
do.
about how, yeah,
I'm
you
just.
have, he's an ass. So, and we also talk about how people talk about us who are fans of the sport. How he's more a fan of the women of muscle than he is of But from your aspects, especially if you're just a fan of women of muscle, especially if you follow some of these ladies, you see the comments, and it's just sad how people comment about these ladies.
I mean, I don't know if I got too much got an opinion on it too much. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I see. I mean, I see a lot of guys. They give a lot of compliments. You know, maybe like once in a while I'll see, but it depends who. You know, I mean, I see a lot of compliments, and I also see some complain about it. Complain about people do some inappropriate things. So I mean, I think it's like half and half. That's that's just coming from me.
Okay.
I think you have to just like kind of like really like almost like self-censor like your social media and kind of weed out the ones that are legit. I mean, I've had males respond on my, social media, and they truly commend me for like my history, what I've gone through, my age, my stick to itiveness, my discipline, and I've gotten some really cool feedback, especially from like you, George and David. I mean, you guys are awesome and truly support and see us for like what we are. But I would say that I've had those other ones, and I just kind of just filter them out. But I think I agree with you. I think it's like it's a mixture of, but I get a little bit more of the ones that are inappropriate. I just block them.
Yep.
Mhm.
Me, me
I
too.
like.
I
I always do like how George warns people not to send the dick pics, and I
Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
appreciate that because, and I
OMG.
don't.
Uh,
I'm hoping that y'all ladies don't have to deal with that kind of bullshit too much. But I was
Dave,
curious.
yo, can I tell you something, David? Because I remember, because last week George was like, okay, we're gonna talk about like how do you deal with the inappropriate behavior or
Yeah.
inappropriate feedback. And I kid you not, I think it was might have been yesterday. Somebody that didn't know called me through Facebook Messenger. I'm just like, it was like a video call. I'm like, I don't know you. She was like, I didn't pick that shit up. Like, why? I get that people will just like call me. Like, I'm not gonna pick it up if I don't know you.
right.
And then he sends me a picture, and guess what it was?
Oh, yeah. Three
Oh
guesses,
I
no.
was,
right?
I was
I
like, you gotta
know.
be kidding me. It's like, oh,
Um,
Yeah.
I
I,
just,
Yeah.
I blocked him and I reported him. I'm like, come on, I'm not here for that. Like,
I
that's
mean,
disgusting.
I've gotten some, and I
Mhm.
just like automatically just like delete, block, restrict, report. But the funny thing is, like with Instagram, I've reported these assholes, and it comes back. They're like, they're within compliance. I'm like, no, they're not. They sent me a
What?
picture of their
Yeah.
penis. Like,
Oh
I was
no.
like
like,
yeah.
really? You know what I mean? I'm like, it's just, and I'm like, and that's probably not even yours that you sent me. At least if you're going to send me a picture, send me the real thing. You know what I mean?
I
No, I'm just
I
kidding. Just kidding.
I got to mention this. Wow, because this is where sometimes there's that double-edged sword because the haters can hate so much that they just don't know what to do. They mess with some of these ladies because I know some ladies recently had to get new IG accounts
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
their IG was either hacked by somebody. Um,
Hmm.
One lady who I follow, and if you know her, that is Tiana Flex. You know, Tiana
Yeah.
Holzhauser. She just did the Imperial just about a couple of weeks ago. Also, she's from South Africa. She just started following me on my IG, my other IGs, because I have two accounts. And this is her new post. And this is where I say, "What? Why you got me post?" Because she's followed me before. And this is where she mentions this in her post. I'll pull it up here, where she says, "We disabled your account. You no longer have access to Tiana Flex. Yeah, account disabled by And here she mentions says, so here is a few days ago, my account was what I assumed report as fake. Unfortunately, Instagram felt the same. With time, I will get my page up and full of content, but I'm not in the hurry. Just wanted to share with my friends and followers. No, please share. And I'm gonna share this because I'm gonna share the link in the description. You want to check it out. And she's an amazing lady. She's a mother, she's a wife, a competitor. Um, you know,
Oh, did this
um,
just happen recently,
yeah,
George?
it says it's recently because she was following me back on my
Oh,
other IG, and
wow.
her husband Tony, they both run her social media platforms. Tony's a pretty good guy. I remember I think he's been she talks about it in my lives, and he's dedicated to her and to her sport. As you know, she just did the Imperial just a couple of weeks ago. She got second. Because like I said, you still have, even though there's a lot of ladies there, you still have a tough lineup. Her and Alcyone just looked amazing. And I know one
Mhm.
lady who I follow, I'll pull up hers, Jess Aribi. She, recently, she had to start a new IG account because her old IG account, for some other reason, was either hacked or was taken down, was disabled. This is a new account. And so her new
Oh yeah.
account just was her new account because her old account was yanked. Um, and I don't know why. Because Jess, she's a mother, she's a wife. She don't put out anything obscene,
Right.
anything too overboard. But
You know,
then
I've,
there's
I've
people
I've heard of
who
some of the
go ahead.
ladies because they have pictures of themselves in bikinis, and it's like IG police will go after them, unfortunately. And I don't know how common that is, but I've heard of other ladies having that problem. So maybe they claimed too many violations and then they yanked her. I'm just guessing, but that's not cool though.
Uh,
hmm
no,
I think
I mean,
some people report. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nicole.
That is anything.
All right, like so. But
Other.
yeah, I think some people will like make comments and report them for no apparent reason. And that's where
Yeah.
because one thing I remember my second IG was hacked. And that was something it broke my heart 'cause I put time into that thing and it got hacked. Now I'm kind of worried about anybody who I don't know by later on. But it doesn't make sense where you have just time enough to comment on somebody. And there's women on IG that are posting near butt naked pictures. Got their
Yeah.
ass out, got their titties out.
Yeah.
But you're telling me this woman who's just in a nice little suit, nothing too revealing, it's like wearing a bikini. But
Yeah.
you have a problem with that?
Maybe.
100%. I mean, I
Maybe.
know I've seen it in my gym where people are like doing their videos, and some of the clothing that some of these women wear, I'm like, really? I'm like, you take down somebody who like you're talking about who is an athlete because she is, and then you look at some of these other girls or some of these other women, and I mean, I would not call them athletes for sure, um, and yet you find out who they are, and I've gone on some of them just to see what their posts like look like, and I'm going, how is Instagram like not acting on this, but yet they'll act on somebody who is a female bodybuilder.
Mhm.
Again, it's just going back to the whole thing
Yeah.
that we get such a bad rap. We do.
Yes, and some of them don't even look like that in real life. I've seen people at the gym how they really look, and then they'll post something on the IG. I'm like, you don't look anything like that.
Right,
Mhm.
right,
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
Got Nicole. Gotta love those filters.
I got to like, no, that's not you. I saw you today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't filter anything. What you see is what
Yep,
you get.
exactly.
But you might get spray on abs, or a fake, and AI is getting very popular. AI images where it looks almost like it's real, but it's not real. You can catch the little nuances if you pay attention to it.
Yeah,
Here we
Okay.
got my man Damon J again. He says women's bodybuilding, women's physique, figure, and fitness are the most entertaining because women's body, women's physique have routines and pose downs. Figure has a level of muscle on them, and fitness do flips, etc. Also, he
Wait,
says this.
can I say something real quick
Go
on
ahead.
that pose down thing? That just bugs me that with women's physique, a lot of times they don't let them do the pose down.
right.
And then I saw it, I think it might have been this year or last year, but there was a women's bodybuilding show where they didn't get to do a pose down either. And it's like, what the hell, man? They got to do the pose down. That's the most important part of the show. So
I
anyway,
think the,
I just on my soapbox there.
Yeah, I think I've seen some shows that like I think with some of the physique competitors, they really don't put out anything when they do the father pros down. That's one thing.
Mhm.
I think some like women's bodybuilding they put out energy too, but sometimes they can be a little lackluster. I know you're tired. I know you're dehydrated, but here's the thing is when people come see you, they want to be entertained also. When the
Yeah.
men do their pose downs, they go out. You see the guys pushing. You see them put. Women got a little bit too polite sometimes.
Mhm.
Back in the day, in the back of the old day, you go back to classic female bodybuilding. They used to push out. Used to say, used to, I mean, one time I think it was a show. I think it was the Vancouver Island show. I remember with Sherry Priyami and this other girl, they were doing the most muscular pose. They would like battle each other face to face.
Yeah, that was
That's what
awesome.
people want to see. They want to be entertained. Here we got my comment here from my man Jimmy J. He said this: women bodybuilding is the division that proved that paved the way for bikini wellness, etc. So these ladies better pay more respect to the women bodybuilders, women bodybuilding are the veterans that come before since 1988, 1980. Actually, go back to more to 1977 when he started it. But they had high heels and more like figure. Um, Shout out man Damon J again. He says, "I meant to say I can't stand. Sorry for the type error. Okay, I appreciate that,
No
brother.
worries.
You know." And he says, "Disregard that last comment." So we disregarded. But it's just to me as a content maker when I talk to some of these ladies, and we have discussions off online, sometimes on social media, sometimes talk on the phone, and it can be frustrating. And then yeah, you can block, but then still you have to deal with people out there in the real world. You can't block regular people. You can walk away and know them. Sometimes you get the point like I'm gonna ask both the ladies who are bodybuilders. Do you feel like at a point when you get pushed, you feel like you kind of want to go like the Incredible Hulk? Don't make me angry. You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
He asking you, yeah, he asking you two more questions.
Yeah, Nicole, Randy,
Yep, we're
hello.
here. I'm here.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Like
no. I think because people just don't understand the sport of bodybuilding, what it takes. They don't understand the look, So I think women like that who are like super muscular and they're really really big. They get the shit under the end of the stick and they work their asses off. So it's just like by not understanding the look or just not thinking a woman should look that way. That ain't none of your damn business. You know what I'm saying? It's none of your damn. If I want to look this way, I'm gonna look this way. Don't If you don't like it, don't look at me.
Right.
So,
Right. I mean, I feel the same way about like men's open bodybuilding. I mean, I personally like the classic guys. I think that their physiques are just more refined. I think that they're posing, especially their posing, they actually pose. The open guys, they don't pose. They don't like I don't know. I feel that they're just so big. I mean, they're impressive and I think that they're great, but I like the classic look, but it takes it to each his own, right? So like, who's to say that a female, who's out there like Andrea Shaw, who's beautiful, and I had told you before, George, I got to be judged by Andrea at my last national contest, and in person, she's unbelievable and she's big. I mean, she's got a good. She was in her off season. She's got a good physique. But who's to say, right? I mean, if that's not your thing, then you don't need to go there. But then we should say the same thing about the men, right? Not everybody likes open bodybuilders. You know what I mean? So
it's true. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
true
mean,
because but the thing is because it's so easy, the men get a little more allowance compared to y'all women. You know,
yeah, a lot more
even
allowed.
yeah,
yeah, because one thing is, especially those divisions, as I call the men's open, it's the bottom bitch. Promoters will throw money behind it. Yeah,
Yes.
promoters will throw money behind it more when it would do for when. It's kind of funny that this year, because I know me and my big brother Big Keith has mentioned he's out of the hospital, he's doing fine. He was planning on doing the Chicago Pro. He wanted to do men's open, but this year they didn't have men's open. It was doing masters. That was kind of funny. I was wondering what's going on with that. Now you know how the ladies feel when they get kicked out of shows. But because that little bit of allowance they get from society and from organizations like NBC and IVB, they can do as much as they want. But the women, y'all have it harder. Especially it could be figure, physique, women's bodybuilding, fitness. If you look if some of the wellness girls now, because I know my brother here just interviewed a wellness competitor, those women, they are getting to the level where their muscles almost compared to maybe early female bodybuilders, just about. And if even bikini, if you look at it now, maybe going back to the even bigger than some women bodybuilders in the 80s. I would say some women figure are like women bodybuilders from the 90s and early 2000s.
exactly.
Yeah. We have a
Exactly.
comment from here from a man, Brock F5. He says, I agree with David. Pose downs can be boring. Don't be afraid to hit most musculars and pose next to each other. Yeah, you can't be afraid. Yeah, you all have a good time. So my man Josh Simke says, what's good? What's good to you, brother? Also, my man Damon J. Shout out to Damon J. Sticking here, brother. I appreciate that. Fit model division are going to be lineups of former um, Hooters waitresses, Sport Illustrated models, and exotic dancers that never made it in college to compete in the trash division fit model. But here we go. Here's the thing. We're the ones who are picking on that. I know I do what I do. Anyhow, no offense to the competitors, but to me as a fan, I feel like you're bringing in divisions that are going to end up looking like. I'm not going to go pick on the competitors. I'll talk junk about the division because I feel like I understand it's a money chase. That's what it is. But again, you're bringing in divisions that are going to end up looking like a division you're supposed to replace. If you think about it, it won't be long for promoters want to make money, especially amateur the level. They're gonna say, "Hey, if you want, you can cross over from fit model to bikini. You can cross over from fit model to wellness because it's about money. And that's the only thing. Money makes the world go round. And I'm maybe not a fan of it, but I'm not going to attack that person who does it. I attack that division per se, but not the people involved because you know what? That's what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean
True.
it's like a double standard because to
Can't hear you, brother. Can
women
you take a lot of?
bodybuilding. You hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I
Yeah, I can hear
said
you now.
it's kind of it's almost being hypocritical because you having these harsh criticisms towards fit model, but the women bodybuilders they go through the same thing. So I mean, like about them being too muscular. Now it's like on these fit models, they're skinny and stuff. I'm not saying that it's my cup of tea like that, but it is kind of the same. Can y'all hear me? 'Cause,
Yeah, you're going in and out a bit.
Oh, hold on. I mean, hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was saying it's almost a bit hypocritical because you're criticizing the women bodybuilders for them being too muscular, but now with the fit model, they're not at they're skinny and all this stuff. It's criticism with the fit models just as the same as the female bodybuilders. I mean, like you trashing it like people trashing it, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Like, if you don't like it, it's not your cup of tea. But it don't make sense to just like keep saying the same thing. Oh, it's trash and or no offense, George, and all that type of stuff. It's I mean, but if they make another division, it can happen too. You know.
Yeah, well, me, that's me. Like I said, I'm me. I'm gonna say I can't. Here's the thing. Sometimes you can either, you can say there's old song. I can speak my mind because sometimes biting my tongue hurts, and I'm just speaking my mind. And a lot of people have that same feeling. But again, when you're bringing in something and not uplifting the other divisions, you feel like it's a slap in the face to them. you know. But after a while, people's going to accept it. It's just about accepting it. That's the same thing with being female bodybuilders. It's about accepting these ladies, who they are as competitors, as women, as athletes. It was hard for the ladies, the first ladies who got into it, the people like Georgia Fudge, like Richard McLesh, Corey Everson, Carla Dunlap, those male ladies. And then those ladies that went on, like Beth Francis, so she's the one who kind of changed it when she came in. And I know, Nicole, you met her, Beth Francis, because you've been to their gym a few times. And I think most people when they see something different, and I can understand with that standpoint, it's just they're not comfortable with it. But once it's there, you're not gonna be happy about it, but you're just gonna end up after a while tolerating. And the thing about he said that the strippers I know wouldn't be able to do fit model. They probably do wellness. They probably could do wellness, but I don't think they could do fit models. Some of those girls are like, I'm from the South. Our strippers are. We got the little skinny kind of girls, but most of the girls be like, they look like they have dump trucks. They take 2 trips, they got to run. We have here Ryan Lake. Shout out to Ryan Lake. He says, "Hello, Randy Dean. You know him, Randy?
Hey, how
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you?
Hey, how you doing? Randy got a fan.
Woo!
So yeah, But the thing is that I think people have to be open minded, but we're also going to be a bit prejudiced against something, especially when it's something that's it's not like, I mean, again, like I said, I'm not a fan of fit model, and I do this because the fact is I know I'm not a fan. But I've interviewed a lady who's a fit model. She just recently did a show, but she was doing bikini, and it's about me recognizing that person. Not so much. I'm like I said, I'm not going after the person. I'm not a fan of the vision. That's how I say it. But the people who do it, I respect their commitment and their passion. Sometimes, like, as you know, I'm not a big fan of Talia Cuejo, but I respect her as a bodybuilder. As what she put in. You don't have
Yeah,
to. You don't have to per se like something. You're not always going to like something, but as long as you respect that what it is and how they exist, then that's it.
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. I'm just saying. Let me be real quick. I'm just saying, like, it's not just you. I wasn't pointing directly to you, but because you're not the only one to criticize it, But I'm just saying that, it's almost kind of reverse, where you know the women bodybuilders, they's getting criticized for being muscular. Now it's the fit model because they're not too muscular. So, because I even heard like even bodybuilders criticizing it too. It's not just I'm not just pointing to you, but you're like an example of it a little bit. I was just kind of you know pointing that out. But
I
Yeah.
go
mean,
ahead, Glenn.
I think Kayla, like I agree on your side. I mean, I think that I'm not a big fan of it. It wouldn't be the division that I would want to personally do, but I respect it, and I respect the competitors in that division that truly go in it for the right reason. So if you want to be a fit model or a bikini or a wellness competitor or a physique or whatever it is, that like there's a category for everybody. Everybody should be able to fit someplace as long as you're going in it for the right reason and the right purpose, whatever that is, like for yourself. I know that there's been a lot of talk about shows and the length of shows. And I mean, Nicole, from being a competitor yourself, the amount of time that we have to sit around and wait,
Oh my goodness, starving.
right? Like while we
Yeah,
watch class like W with the men and we're just sitting there. So I
yeah.
think that if they broke up the shows a little bit more, there's a fan base for everybody, right?
Yeah, there
So,
is.
like your fit model and your bikini, like go for it. You know what I mean? And like your figure, your wellness, women's bodybuilding and physique, like go for it. But I think that there's a lot of issues. Like most people who follow women's bodybuilding and women's physique are not fans really of bikini. They want to see
Yeah,
women's bodybuilding and
that's
women's
true.
physique. So if they
Mhm.
did it, and they even put like the figure women or the figure girls in, it's that's how they do it at nationals,
Mhm.
and it's appropriate. And I feel like just like the guys, there's a category for everybody and everything, and
Yeah.
like you do you. You know what I mean? And is it my category? No. I tried it like for 5 minutes bikini, like when I first started. It lasted 5 minutes, and that was it. I like to do the pose downs too much. So, yeah. But
I
I feel
know.
like there's a time and there's a place and there's a space for everybody. And it's like if we could all just like play nice, that would be a really great thing.
Yeah, I know some ladies who wear a figure, and they were happy to get those high heels off. They were happy. Some ladies love it. I remember one lady told me how she loves walking on a treadmill when she's in her high heels. I think everybody finds something what they love and hate about something. But
Mhm.
again, you have these people who can get a little too. I mean, if you don't like it, like I don't like leave comments about if I hate somebody. I say, I'm not waste my time on it. But sometimes, like when I post something on my social media, I see people making comments, like calling some like a woman a dude. Like it's just a woman. If you don't
Mhm.
like it, you don't have to watch it. You can move on.
Right.
Like as I said earlier, where I was talking about the lady who passed away this last week. And I've seen people making comments like, "Oh, she died of steroids," yada 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 yada. Well, I know, well, people who told me that knew her, that she was living her life. She was doing things.